Fuchs.
And welcome, friends, to the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and we are happy to have you here. 844-236-6010 is our number. We love hearing from you. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. 844-236-6010. Of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to contribute to the conversation, if you want to let us know how you're dealing with Corona Mania, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase longevity products off the websites. You can also call 866-735-2470 to purchase products, or you can sign up to join the Brightside Ben team if you're interested in starting a longevity business, if you want to work out of your home, be your own boss, if you want a supplemental income, or if you want a primary income. A lot of folks are making pretty darn good money, especially now. People are becoming more hip to supplementation. As you know, if you've tried to get zinc or vitamin C at the health food store, a lot of nutritional supplements are out of stock. Longevity's not out of stock. We've been talking about the importance of nutritional supplementation for many years. Dr. Wallach has been talking about it for decades. I've been talking about it for decades. Finally, people are starting to understand. It kind of makes sense when push comes to shove and you get desperate. You'll tend to become a little bit more open-minded. And so now people are understanding how important nutritional supplementation is. You can position yourself as a nutritional supplement expert. We can help you understand nutritional supplements so you can teach other folks, and you can make some money while you're helping spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program and providing some good nutritional supplements to folks. Call 866-735-2470 if this sounds good to you. You can also head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com if you want to sign up off the website or purchase products off the website. And don't forget to take a look at our Truth Skin Health products available at truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, water, silicone, oil, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. All available at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. And we have Father's Day specials up as well. So if you haven't checked the website in a while, you might want to check. We also are updating the website with posts, with blog posts and other health information. Also have blog posts and videos up at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. All right, we'll take your phone calls in our next segment. We have Master Gu coming up. Master Gu is he's a Qigong expert. Qigong is a really interesting Eastern practice that coordinates posture, movement, breathing, and meditation for health, and also for spirituality, and also for martial arts. Body posture is a really interesting way to control your health. We don't often think about how we hold our bodies, but how we hold our bodies tells a lot about how we're thinking. It tells a lot about our health, and we can actually control our stress levels by controlling our posture. If you go to Critical Health News, there's a blog post that I wrote, which is, I think it's being emailed now, on reducing stress and weight with posture. Master Gu, G-U, is going to come up at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls next segment. I have been reading all kinds of crazy stuff about this coronavirus. The latest thing I read, I'm trying to find here, is about toilets flushing. Flushing toilets spread coronavirus. Did you catch this? A large cloud of virus-laden droplets can be released high in the air when you flush a toilet. This is the lengths, the craziness, just the utter nonsense and stupidity of our health strategies. Now we got to run away from toilets. We got to wear masks. We got to hide in our house because of this virus thing that's happening. Listen, folks, if you're afraid of a bacteria or a microbe or a virus, the answer is not to hide. The answer is not to run away from your bathrooms or your friends or the public in general. It's to build your immune system, and there are so many different ways to do it. First of all, getting on an all-around nutritional supplement program is important, but making sure you're taking extra zinc, making sure you're taking extra vitamin C, making sure you're taking extra N-acetylcysteine. And by the way, for those of you guys who've used my Truth Blemish Repair Complex, which you can get at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com, we call Blemish Repair Complex because it's so effective for helping folks deal with acne, but it's also very important for the immune system. And if you want a quick primer on nutritional supplements that help build the immune system, look at the supplement facts, nutritional supplement facts on my Truth Blemish Repair Complex. N-acetylcysteine, by the way, is super important for helping strengthen the detoxification system and helping build immunity. N-acetylcysteine works on the liver. N-acetylcysteine is so important for the liver that if you were to go to the hospital with Tylenol poisoning, they'd probably put N-acetylcysteine right in your blood. Speaking of the liver, progesterone is another really helpful not nutritional supplement, I will just say biomolecule that you can use topically to help build the immune system. I have a new progesterone topical that I'm working on. If you're interested in checking it out, I'm giving it away for free. Send an email to ben@ksco.com and we'll put you on a waiting list. I'm still working on labeling and packaging it. But if you're interested in a freebie of our progesterone topical, go to or send an email to ben@ksco.com and say that you want to be put on the on the list, and we'll get you on the list. Probably be out here in a couple of months. Major study finds common steroid reduced deaths among patients with severe COVID-19. This is kind of interesting. You may have heard this. Dexamethasone, according to a recent study, it's been on the news now the last couple of nights. Dexamethasone, according to this study anyway, has reduced deaths among patients who had severe COVID-19. It's very interesting to me because dexamethasone is a souped-up version of prednisone, which is a steroid that suppresses the immune system. So if you think about it, why would a steroid that suppresses the immune system reduce deaths? Well, it's because the deaths from COVID are the end result of an immune system that is out of whack. It's kind of ironic that suppressing the immune system is now being used as a health strategy. It's not, it's ironic, but it's not unheard of because that's a major medical strategy to suppress the immune system, the idea being that the immune system is the bad guy when you have some kind of health challenge. Well, suppressing the immune system doesn't make any sense, but if you're on death's door, suppressing the immune system may stabilize you for a little bit. Dexamethasone is pretty readily available, and it's really expensive. But this is a study that was done on patients a lot of patients anyway, who are on ventilators. Quote, in patients who needed to be on a ventilator, dexamethasone reduced the death rate by 35%, meaning that doctors would prevent one death by treating 8 ventilated patients. That's because when you're on a ventilator, your immune system is going haywire. Your inflammatory system is going haywire because they stuck something down your throat to help you breathe. Don't go on a ventilator is the moral of the story, unless you absolutely need to. And by the way, just because the doctor says, or the hospital, the nurse or whoever's at the hospital tells you need to be, orders a ventilator, doesn't necessarily mean you need one. Ask questions. Ventilators kill people. And while they may, in super emergency conditions, be important, they're being used way more than they need to be used. And a lot of the deaths that are being associated with COVID are really deaths that are linked to the use of ventilators. All right. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll come back on the bright side with you and your phone calls. Don't go away. Are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Master Gu is coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about Qigong, which is a Eastern practice that combines body posture and movement and breathing, meditation all into one health practice, I suppose you could say, for dealing with your health and spirituality, as well as a martial art. We'll talk to Master Gu in the bottom of the hour. And we'll get your phone calls in this segment. I just want to read one more article that I thought was interesting. This is from Toronto, Ontario, for all our Canadian friends. I guess restaurants are opening up in Toronto, but singing and dancing has been temporarily banned in Ontario. This is just the lengths we're going, the crazy lengths we're going to protect ourselves from this virus. You can't sing and dance now in restaurants and bars in Ontario, at least in restaurants, we have outside seating areas where you were allowed to sing and dance. I don't know why you can't sing and dance. Let's see if it says it here, why you can't sing and dance. No dancing or singing may be permitted in the outdoor dining areas. Government said congregational singing or chanting should be suspended. That's even in churches you can't sing and dance. I don't have any idea. Or sing and chant. I have no idea what they're thinking. It's just craziness, folks. Build your immune system. Don't eat the McDonald's. Stay away from sugar. Get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program. Practice slow, deep breathing techniques. All the things we've been talking about for years. Now it's just an opportunity to take advantage or to leverage all of these ideas that we've been talking about on the bright side, and I've been talking about in my presentations for decades. You don't have to worry about your toilet. You don't have to worry about singing or dancing. What you do want to do is you want to take care of your immune system and take care of your health using all the strategies, not just nutritional supplementation, but all the strategies. All right, Master Goo coming up bottom of the hour. Let's go to your phone calls and talk to our friend Elaine. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's talk to Elaine in Alaska. What's up, Elaine? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Sounds like you're doing well. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. What's going on?
Good.
What's going on today?
It is like the Twilight Zone.
Isn't it like the Twilight Zone? Isn't this crazy? How do you deal with people who actually buy in? You know, the vast majority of people buy into this. You're listening to the program, and you know the people who are listening to this program don't, but the vast majority of your friends and neighbors buy into it. They're wearing masks. They're hiding in their house. They're staying away from people. They're doing everything they're told to do by authorities, even though our health authorities are responsible for the greatest health challenge, greatest chronic disease challenge in the history of mankind. We still listen to them. Right. So how do you deal with it? What do you do?
You would love this story. One of my patients, they snowbird. They were trying to drive their RV back up from Arizona through Canada. They get to the Yukon, and they're in their 70s. They have health issues. There's this checkpoint. She tells me this story.
A checkpoint where?
In the Yukon, in Canada.
To get into the Yukon?
Yeah, I'm not so they were driving up and trying to get back to Alaska. And there's this checkpoint. They take your temperature. They were just so rude to them, and they said, you have 24 hours to be out of our country, get back to Alaska, or you will pay a fine of $750,000.
Wait. Hang on, Elaine.
Yeah?
You're saying to get into the Yukon in Canada from Alaska, you had to have your temperature taken because they had a high temperature?
Yeah, no, they were driving up from Arizona. So I don't know where they came in, through Montana to Canada. Driving up, get to the Yukon. At some point, there's a checkpoint in the Yukon for people trying to drive on the Alcan to get back to Alaska.
Right.
They drove so hard, which is dangerous. They're in their 70s. They hit the Alaska border with 45 minutes to spare.
So they wouldn't get a stamp. So you mean they're not letting anybody in, or did they have to take their temperature and they had a high temperature?
They took their temperature. They were fine. They said, how many COVID cases do you have? And they have 2 in all of the Yukon.
This is unbelievable.
Crazy.
It really is crazy. It's like you're in some kind of dream or something, some kind of weird, surreal nightmare of some kind. But here's the thing, Elaine. It's not that, you want to blame. It's easy to blame governments and health authorities, etc. But the blame really goes on the dumb people, the people that buy into this stupidity, the people who know so little about how their bodies work that they just listen and do what they're told. It's the masses. It's the stupid. It's the dumb, domesticated, dumbed-down human beings that are complicit in all of this.
You got to keep doing your show, and you just keep educating people one person at a time. And I'm calling to let you know that your omega-6 and vitamin C serum. So I have to wear these masks to do physical therapy. I got this massive lupus flare, like a rash with a bunch of blisters right where
my God. Where the mask was?
Yeah, and they were painful hot blisters, but I used your products twice a day, and it took about 10 days for it to clear, but it completely cleared.
This is the omega-6 healing cream.
Omega-6, and then the other one, what's that? The
transdermal C balm?
Yeah, like the drops. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to send you a little gift. I'm going to shoot me a text with your email. I want to send you a little present. Thank you I really appreciate you saying that on the air. So send me text your address. You have my phone number. Text the address to my phone number, and I'll get it to you. I want to get one more call in, okay? Thanks so much, Elaine. God bless you. Good luck.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Graviano in California. What's up, Graviano? How you doing, buddy? I think I've talked to you before.
How's it going, Ben? Long time no speak.
Yeah, I talked to you a couple years ago, didn't I?
I've been listening to your show forever, for at least 10 years now. Love it.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. What's going on? How can I help you?
I was calling just to give you, I call in here and there, and I usually ask for questions, but this time I wanted to call in some good news, and just because I've always had it, just never shared it. So like Dr. Joe Wallet calls it out of dumb luck, I came across your show in InfoWars and back in 2011, and it was in October, and you were promoting longevity, and my daughter at that time had been diagnosed by the Children's Hospital in San Diego for celiac disease, which she was 2 years old, and they wanted to give her a biopsy. And that was the first time I ever heard of this thing. I'm like, what is celiac disease? But anyways, from a Latin background, we're kind of anti-Western medicine. So anyways, I came across your show, and you had mentioned, oh, yeah, you can overcome 900 diseases, one of those celiac. I'm like, what, celiac? So anyway, I started listening to it, and you start promoting the BTT and so forth. And so my daughter had gone to the point where her stools were pale white. So I was like, wow, I've never seen that in my life. So anyways, I ordered the BTT. I tried it on myself first, and I felt great. This is when I was like 30. I'm 40 now. Felt great within like a couple of days, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give it to my daughter. I kid you not, she would always have, at 2 years old, like really bad loose stools, and her stomach was always hurting. Gave her the BTT a sip, just a sip. Within that same hour or two, she had use the bathroom. Her stool was like normally perfect.
That's awesome, Graviano. That's what nutrition can do. She was really malnourished. That's an awesome story. How's she doing now, by the way?
She's doing amazing. She's 11 years old. I taught her everything about nutrition from you, and she loved it.
That's great.
Even my wife no longer has chronic depression.
Hey, I want to hear everything you got to say, but we're out of time, man. Can you call back again, Graviano? Call back again, man. I want to hear everything you have to say. That's awesome. Right. That's a great story. Thank you. All right, Master Goo coming up at the bottom of the hour. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. I am Pharmacist Ben, and we're waiting to hear from Master Goo. I was really excited to speak to him. He's got a little mix-up in the time, so we're still trying to get him. Master Goo is a Qigong expert, and he talks about using Qigong to reduce stress. Reduce stress that makes you susceptible to COVID-19. Reading from, this is from the University of Massachusetts. The ultimate COVID mystery. Why does it spare some and kill others? Isn't that interesting? Not everybody gets COVID. This would tell us that there's some kind of impact, there's some kind of relationship between us and the likelihood of becoming symptomatic or becoming sick. And that's the most important point about health challenges, is that we are responsible for how our body handles health challenges. We are responsible for being sick. We are responsible for getting infected. And that's really the bottom line here. We are responsible, perhaps not getting affected, but getting symptomatic. We are responsible for becoming symptomatic. And you notice how on the news they always talk about infections. Infections don't matter. It's the symptomatic nature of the disease. It's getting sick that matters. Just because you're infected doesn't mean you're sick. But all you hear is about is infections. Infections, infections, infections. How many people are infected? 2 million people are going to be infected. Another 500 people have been infected. Now they're telling you that in the states that reopened, infections are increasing. It doesn't matter. The infection aspect of the illness, or the crisis, I should say, doesn't matter. It's the symptomatic nature, the disease nature, and ultimately the death nature that matters. Just because you're infected by a virus doesn't mean you're going to be sick. Viruses are everywhere. Bacteria are everywhere. Microbes are everywhere. The medical model will tell you, oh, you need to be protected. We're going to protect you. You wear this mask, you'll be protected. You stay in the house, you'll be protected. Now, the latest push is on contact tracing. Contact tracing is when one of your neighbors who's getting hired for $1,000 a week keeps track of you to make sure not only that you stay in the house, but everybody that you talked to or touched or interacted with stays in the house as well. This is absurd. This is utterly, utterly absurd. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I would love to talk to somebody who buys into this. It's crazy. Anyway, Master Gu is going to talk to us about how you can deal with stress, how you can make yourself less susceptible to COVID-19, how you can deal with things like loneliness and isolation as well, using Qigong, which is a really interesting Eastern health strategy that involves posture, movement, breathing, as well as meditation. And don't underestimate the power of meditation, by the way. Hopefully nobody out there listening to this program underestimates the power of meditation, simply because of the cortisol-lowering properties of a meditation practice. And it doesn't take a lot to meditate, by the way. All you got to do is focus on your breath or focus on your thoughts. I like focusing on my thoughts. When you focus on your thoughts, you realize how much you're run by your thoughts. When you focus on your thoughts, you realize how much our thoughts, how nonstop our thoughts are. Not only how much we're influenced by our thoughts, but how nonstop the thinking process is. And by the way, meditation is not about stopping your thoughts. There's a myth about meditation that you're supposed to be able to stop your thoughts. You can't stop your thoughts any more than you can stop the ocean from waving. Thoughts are the nature of the mind, the way waves are the nature of the ocean. You can't stop your thoughts, but what you can do is you can watch your thoughts. And it's not that easy to do. I say you can watch your thoughts. Potentially you can watch your thoughts, but it's not that easy to do. In fact, just try watching your thoughts without going into your thoughts and letting them take you for a ride. Try just watching your thoughts for 15 seconds, and you'll see how difficult it is to do. The nature of thinking is something that philosophers have been studying for centuries, and for good reason, because our lives are controlled by our thinking. Instead of our thinking behaviors being controlled by us, we are controlled by our thinking behaviors. We want to learn to master our thinking behaviors, or at least to be able to disassociate from our thinking behaviors. Not to stop them, but to disidentify and to disassociate ourselves from them. That's even a hard concept to understand. To disassociate from your thoughts not only is it hard to do, it's a hard concept to even grasp, that we can disassociate ourselves from our thoughts, because for most of us, we are identified with our thoughts. For most of us, we go cradle to grave without separating or watching or observing our thinking behavior. What is a thought anyway? I mean, don't you think, given the fact that our thoughts control so much of our lives, that our thinking behavior will kill us? I had a friend, I remember, really nice gal, and she was depressed, and she ended up committing suicide. And I thought to myself, the only reason this woman committed suicide is because something in her head told her to do it. Something in her head told her to go buy a gun and go blow her brains out. We let our thinking behavior do everything, run our lives to such an extent that we let our thinking behaviors kill us, literally. Given the nature, the impactful nature of our thinking behavior, doesn't it make sense to at least watch, or at least to wonder, what is a thought exactly? Why is it that a thought, which from a biochemical standpoint is nothing more than potassium and calcium and magnesium and various ions flowing in and out of neurons, that's all a thought is. It's various ions and various quanta moving up and down and in flux through cell membranes. That's all a thought is. But yet we let these thoughts, control our behavior to such an extent that it will make them, they'll make our lives miserable. They'll make our lives so miserable to the extent that they'll kill us. Watching your thoughts, disidentifying yourself from your thoughts is a powerful, powerful meditative technique, and don't think it's easy. It's not. During the commercial break, we'll take in about a minute here. Stop everything you're doing and try to watch your thoughts for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. And watching your thoughts is not the same thing as thinking your thoughts. Anyway, Master Gu will be coming up, hopefully in our next segment, to talk about using Qigong, using meditation, using breathing techniques, using movement, and using posture. And by the way, Qigong is about coordinating these four elements: posture, movement, breathing, and meditation. And there's a good reason why you coordinate these four elements, is because they're all linked. Posture is linked to movement. Posture and movement are linked to breathing, and posture and movement and breathing are all linked to thought behavior or meditation. So posture, movement, breathing, and meditation are coordinated in the Qigong practice because posture, movement, breathing, and meditation are coordinated anyway. They're all linked together, but when you pay attention to them consciously, that is, you work with posture and movement and breathing and meditation consciously, you can gain some power over the process and ultimately gain power over your life. And while the Bright Side is a nutritional program largely, it's really an empowerment program. We use nutrition and we use the biomolecules that we call nutrients, the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, the vitamins, the amino acids, the fatty acids, and the essential minerals. We use these as tools to gain control over our biochemistry, but they are by no means the only tools. In fact, we have almost an infinite amount of tools to gain power over our biochemistry. And that's what this corona crisis is, an opportunity for those of us who are conscious and those of us who are aware. It's an opportunity for us to use tools to gain control over our biochemistry and thereby our bodies and ultimately over our lives. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Hopefully we'll have Master Goo coming up in our next segment. Don't go away. Got more good health information coming up right after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben here, and we finally have our guest today, Master Goo, who is a Qigong expert. Qigong is a combination of body posture, movement, breathing, and meditation, all coordinated for good health and good physical health as well as spiritual health. It's also used for martial arts. And Master Goo also has a ebook that you can download for free called at ancienthealingsecrets.com. The book is called Ancient Chinese Healing Secrets, and you download it at ancienthealingsecrets.com. Please welcome to The Bright Side, Master Goo, Master Ming Tong Goo. Greetings, Master Goo.
Greeting. I'm so happy with you, Ben. Happy with all the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's nice to talk to you. And we got a short segment. I wanted to get you on here a little earlier, but we got a short segment. So let's cut right to the chase. What exactly is Qigong, as you see it? I've been talking about it this morning, but as you see it, what is Qigong, and how can it be used in this crazy coronavirus crazy time that we're living in?
Right. So, yes, Qi means energy. So when people ask me, what is energy, I ask back, what is not energy? Everything is energy. Uh-huh. So, but there's two kinds of energy. One is physical, measurable, as we are familiar with, such as this physical body. Then another kind is more subtle energy, invisible. You cannot really touch it, smell it, so on. So the subtle energy is called spiritual energy. Used to be more esoteric, but now we can understand it scientifically, validating its existence. So Qigong is about acknowledging the energy existing in the universe beyond just the physical, familiar. Then how do you access that energy, working with this energy consciously, living, cultivating the potential of this energy? That's what is Qigong. That is the wisdom healing Qigong. So wisdom is connecting with energy in certain way to benefit your health and healing, and also creativity, fulfillment of life. So the bottom line is more energy, more health, more energy, greater happiness, more energy, greater creativity and fulfillment of life. So when you work with energy, you can increase your capacity in all levels, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. That's the summary.
I love it. Now, everything you're saying makes perfect sense except for one thing. You talk about energy, but it's not just energy. It's a certain controlled energy, correct?
So energy in general, the most subtle energy, we call the source energy of all creation, from the invisible world manifesting to the visible physical world. And that subtle energy is responding to intention, responding to action. So how you sit, how you move, how you're talking, how you're making the sound, how you're mentally experiencing life, and the energy naturally responding to internal conditions, so to speak. So there's the interaction, the inner condition, the external energy environment is interacting, creating the energy experience, then that is directly affecting your health in all levels, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So what we're learning here is connecting with the energy condition inside of you, at the same time also initiating new energy, information, intention, attention, embodiment, then the subtle energy of the universe responding to internal desire, internal activation. So then these two working together as a co-creation. So that is the methodology and the paradigm we're working with.
So you're learning to take advantage of universal energy, or source energy as you call it. You're learning to leverage it. That's beautiful.
Exactly. So you can go beyond the relative energy we're experiencing, often has the limitation, has certain patterns from the past. So all the challenges we're experiencing, including health crisis, even economical, social, political crisis we're experiencing, is really the expression of the energy pattern from the history. Nothing happens overnight. So when the energy is blocked, contracted, then all the function is limited, compromised. So the practice is really focused on connecting the energy in your body, in your heart, in your mental state, connecting the energy of the environment. You continuously opening energy, promoting more flow, more openness, more connection, more creativity. So you're proactively enhancing all function of energy, both in personal level as well, contributing to the life around you, your family members, whoever you want to serve, but also collectively on the planet Earth.
So as I understand it, Qigong is made up of 4 elements: posture, movement, breathing, and meditation. Is that correct?
Actually, one more element is not well known, is sound, vibration. Vibration is very powerful, and that's not well known. So most people are familiar with more like Tai Chi, like movement, gentle meditative movement. And then, of course, the breathing is important, and the posture is important. Then meditation, you're cultivating the mind, connecting with energy directly. But the sound especially is important in this time right now, because allow you access the subconsciousness, access the emotional body, which we're experiencing so much stress, especially emotional stress, especially the pattern, we're familiar with called, fearful pattern, this reactive pattern of fight, flight. And we're experiencing this so much in this extraordinary time right now. So the vibration allow you to access the energy of your 5 organ system, including the heart. So changing the energy patterns in your 5 organ system. By doing that, you're releasing the emotional stress, but also changing these emotional patterns, including the fearful pattern. And that is the important piece of wisdom healing in Qigong.
Okay, so you got my attention here with sound. Are you talking about just making sounds like vowel sounds, like Om or something like that? Or are you talking about words or prayers when you talk about sounds?
So, in a way, it's both, but more so towards like Om sound, affecting the energy body a certain way. So the Qigong sound is directly addressing your organ system. So it has a more tangible experience, tangible outcome, including physical healing of your 5 organ system, as well emotional transformation, such as transforming from fearful pattern to empowerment, from worry to confidence, from anger to courage, from sadness to compassion. So the methodology is very simple, Ben. When the energy of your 5 organ system contracted, then we're experiencing these stressful emotions such as fear, worry, anger, sadness, depression, so on. Again, depression is such a big challenge right now. According to some statistics, probably more than 50% of people reported, according to that statistics, experiencing some clinical symptom of depression. So what that means from an energetic point of view is the energy is contracted in your 5-organ system. Then we're experiencing all these very intense, stressful, sometimes we call negative emotion. But we're realizing energetically when you're opening the energy from your 5-organ system, then you can shift your emotion without depends on the circumstances. You may not have the control of the circumstances, which triggers this emotion inside of you, energetically affecting you in the emotional level, but also in the physical, mental level. They're energetically inseparable. But when you go inside of you, shifting the energy inside of you, then you shift in the emotion, then you can respond into life in different ways.
Master Gu, I wish we had more time. I have so much I want to ask you. I'm going to try and get you on for a full half hour here. I'll talk to Missy about that. And we're out of time. I apologize. We talked to Master Gu. His website is qicenter.com. Download his book, How to Reduce Stress and Transform Fear in the Time of COVID-19 for free, ancienthealingsecrets.com. Master Gu, thank you so much. We'll have you on again. I apologize for the mix-up. All right, thank you. Thanks, buddy. That was Master Mingtong. Thank you so much. Blessings to you as well. Master Mingtong Gu. I love this idea of using energy to help strengthen and heal and protect the body. We'll talk to Master Gu again sometime in the next couple of weeks. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. Check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for longevity products, and Truth Skin Health products can be had at truthtreatments.com. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.